Alright, let's go ahead and add lives now to our game. So we're going to have 4 lives, and so we need to add an attribute for that. So let's go to attributes, and we're going to click plus, and we're going to add an integer, hit choose, and then we're going to rename this lives, and we can set it, let's set it at 4. Alright, we want 4 lives, set it at 4, and then what we're going to do is let's go to the spaceship, and here we go. And we're going to add a rule, and this is going to say when this collides with the enemy bullet, okay, when this collides with an enemy bullet, we want to change the attribute. So let's go to change the attribute, and we're going to change it from, go to game and go to lives. We're going to change it from whatever it's currently at to -1. So we're just going to take away each live. So instead of just putting 1, we have to go to game, we have to go to lives, and we have to do -1 like that. So it says whatever the current game life number is, let's say you're at 2 lives, then -1, so you'd be down to 1. So game lives to game lives -1, and let's just rename that minus life for let's see, enemy bullet. And what we're going to do as well is this is what we want to copy this, Command C, Command V if you're on a Mac. And instead of it with an enemy bullet, we're just going to do with an enemy. So if if an enemy collides with you, you're going to lose a life as well. So we're going to click right here, and we're going to do, instead of doing bad guy 3, bad guy 2, bad guy 1, that's kind of redundant. Actually, let's go back to home, and let's go, and we're going to add a section, a group of actors right here. Click down here in the bottom left hand corner, the plus sign, and let's just put bad guys or space invaders. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag and create a group of the bad guys like so. Okay, so now what we have is a bad guy tag called bad guys that consists of these 3 bad guys. And now when I go back to my spaceship, I'm going to say when this collides with the tag bad guys, so when it collides with the tag bad guys, which we just created, we're going to lose a life. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we need to create a final rule that says when the attribute is at 0, then we're going to die. So let's go ahead and create a numeric expression, and let's say when the attribute, and we want the game attribute lives, when that equals 0, we want the game to be over. Okay, so we're going to go to change scene, drag it down here, and we're going to go to the game over scene. Game over, rename that. So now what we're saying is when the game lives equals 0, it's going to change this scene to game over. So let's go ahead and kind of preview that to see. Okay, great. So it transitions, that's fine. And then once you collide, what we also have to do is we have to make a rule when we collide with the meteor. We want the game to be over as well. So let's go ahead and hold down Alt, copy this game over scene, and I want you to change it back to actor receives events and goes to collides with, and then the meteor. Okay, so when this collides with the meteor, we want it to go game over. Instead of losing a life, it's just going to automatically end the game. Meteor. Okay. So now we have our game over, our lives. And the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to add a lives bar. Instead of just saying 3 or 4 lives, just a numeric expression, we're going to create 4 spaceships to indicate how many lives that we currently have. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to click on a new actor. Nope, not a new attribute, but let's go back, and we are going to create a new actor to represent the lives, and we're going to actually scratch that. What we're going to do is we are just going to replicate the spaceship, hold down Alt, make a copy of it, and once you make a copy of it, I want you to rename that lives. And now what we need to do is double click on the lives and make sure you're on the lives one, and you're going to just delete everything that's currently in it. Delete. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to replicate lives, or sorry, replicate. Okay, and then it's going to say how many copies do you want, and we don't want a specific amount. We want this tied to the current integer based on our lives. So we're going to click right here, and we're going to go to the game and go to lives, and so it'll display whatever the current live value is. And spacing, that's kind of hit or miss depending on how big your object is. Let's go 15 plus the width. So we're saying 15 pixels. Add 15 pixels to the width of your position, so or of your size of the spaceship. So lives, size, and then width, and then hit OK. And now what we need to do is we need to drag it in and place it somewhere. So let's go ahead and drag the spaceships down there. And then when you play, you can see that it makes the 4 lives, but that's way too big. So let's go ahead and stop that. Make this a little bit smaller, like so. Move those up, and now we can play. And then so now you have 4 spaceships representing your lives. And then if you play this, let me just see. If you play this, you can see that it takes it off. All right.